The Bhagavad Gita doesn't open with some abstract lecture. Nope, it throws us right into the middle of a crisis. A huge moment of doubt that really is a universal dilemma, one that makes you question the very nature of your duty. And that's the fundamental problem, isn't it? It's the question staring down Arjuna, a celebrated warrior. And his conflicts, well, it's the centerpiece of this entire first chapter. It forces a massive confrontation between his obligations and his conscience. So where does this all take place? We're on the holy plain of Kurukshetra, a place of pilgrimage. The stage itself is called the Field of Dharma, or the Field of Righteous Duty. That name alone adds this heavy layer of significance to every single thing that's about to happen.
Right, so the battlefield itself tells a story even before a single word is ever spoken.
See, this isn't a war against some foreign invaders. It's a civil war. Family against family. On one side, you have the Pandavas, and on the other, the Kauravas. The thing is, they're cousins, they're kinsmen, who just couldn't figure out how to resolve their dispute over the kingdom.
At first, Arjuna is every bit the confident warrior. He asks his charioteer, who just so happens to be Lord Krishna, to drive his chariot right into the space between the two armies. He wants a clear view of the opposition, to size up the men he's about to fight. It's a purely strategic military request.
But from that vantage point, everything changes. The warrior's gaze, it becomes a personal one. Suddenly, that abstract idea of an army just dissolves into a sea of familiar faces. These aren't just enemy soldiers. These are the men who taught him, the people he grew up with. They're part of his own bloodline. And in that moment, the reality of his duty becomes intensely personal and absolutely horrifying. Arjuna's reaction isn't strategic. It's visceral. It's in his gut. He can literally feel his body failing him. This conflict moves from his mind to his very being. It's a physical collapse brought on by profound grief. And in that instant, the entire purpose of the war just becomes meaningless to him. Victory, power, happiness, all those goals are rendered completely worthless when he sees the price he'd have to pay to get them. Now, this raw emotion, it starts to build into a series of logical arguments. Arjuna isn't just sad, he actually begins to build a case against fighting. He lays out 4 key points. First, just simple compassion. How can he kill his own family? Second, he's afraid of the sin, the bad karma that's going to come from a slaughter like this. Third, he predicts the complete destruction of timeless family traditions, which are really the bedrock of their whole society. And finally, he argues, this destruction will lead to widespread social chaos. The central concept here is this idea of dharma. Now, it's not just religion, it's one's essential nature, your specific duty in the world that helps maintain order in the cosmos and society. So you see, Arjuna is trapped in a total dharma crisis. His duty as a warrior demands he fight, but his duty to his family demands he not. He also voices this deep fear of unforeseen consequences, what you might call the reverse effect. He's worried that the act of fighting for something righteous will, ironically, produce unrighteous results. And his ancient worry, well, it feels incredibly modern. I mean, think about it. Computers were supposed to save us time, yet we all feel busier than ever. Social media was designed to connect us, but it's often led to people feeling more isolated. Arjuna is grappling with this timeless problem of unintended consequences. So, with all his arguments made and his emotions peaking, Arjuna finally reaches his breaking point. He is now just completely consumed by his grief and his confusion. The weight of his duty, the horror of the task ahead of him, and the logic of his own arguments against it, it all just comes crashing down on him. And this is the ultimate symbol of his surrender. A warrior casting down his weapon is a physical admission of defeat. He's paralyzed by his inner conflict, and he's just unable to go on. And then he says it plainly. This is his final conclusion after all the turmoil and all the reasoning. He looks at Krishna, his divine guide, and tells him, I will not fight. And with Arjuna's refusal, the first chapter ends. The problem is now perfectly defined. He's in a state of utter despondency. The rest of the Gita, well, that's Krishna's answer. It's a profound philosophy that begins right here, in the depths of a warrior's despair.